The heart of innovation. In the heart of bustling Lagos, Nigeria, where the air hung heavy with pollution and the cries for affordable transportation echoed through the streets, a revolutionary electric vehicle known as the Zuri was set to make its debut. This five-seater, inspired by the compact Twizy, was ingeniously equipped with innovative roof-mounted solar panels for charging. ZIKA, a tenacious inventor and founder of ZIKA Corp, dedicated every ounce of his passion to creating the Zuri, a vehicle designed to bring sustainable mobility to the masses and challenge the iron grip of the oil and gas industry. The threat of corruption. On launch day, the atmosphere buzzed with electrifying anticipation as Lagosians gathered in droves, eager to witness the unveiling of the Zuri. A striking figure with a tall frame, deep ebony skin, and a baby face framed by an impressive afro, stood proudly at the forefront. His heart raced not only with excitement but also with the weight of his vision for a cleaner, greener Nigeria. As IK began to speak, the crowd hung on his words, envisioning a future free from the chains of fossil fuels. Just then, with a roar that shattered the hopeful atmosphere, a black SUV came barreling into the plaza. Tires screeched, and the vehicle skidded to a stop, sending up a cloud of dust and panic. Thugs, outfitted in menacing attire, spilled out of the SUV, their faces obscured by dark sunglasses. They were pawns of the oil cabals, sent to sabotage the launch and instill fear in the hearts of the gathered crowd. "Shut it down," one thug bellowed, his voice drowning out its impassioned speech. "This piece of junk will blow up on you." The crowd gasped in shock as the thugs began hurling insults and slinging baseless accusations. They brandished smartphones, filming the chaos to broadcast their false claims. Murmurs spread that the Zuri was prone to exploding after just 3 hours of use and demanded that the Standards Organization of Nigeria, SUN, ban it from the roads. Tension thickened the air as supporters shifted uneasily. Ik's heart raced, each beat resonating with the knowledge that this was no ordinary confrontation, it was an all-out fight for a cleaner future. He commanded his fear, drew on his resolve, and stood taller. His extensive testing had garnered international approval for the Zuri, underscoring its safety and reliability. With unwavering confidence, IK stepped forward, his voice piercing through the chaos. "This is our future at risk," he shouted, igniting a spark of hope among the onlookers. The crowd responded, echoing his passion, their chants rising into a crescendo, fortifying their determination to confront the naysayers. Realizing their intimidation tactics were losing their grip, the thugs exchanged anxious glances. Fear began to seep into their bravado, causing them to hesitate. Desperate to reclaim control, they moved closer, threateningly waving their phones, but the tide had begun to turn. Ik's fervor became infectious, emboldening the gathered supporters, who took a collective step forward in defiance. Suddenly, one of the thugs lunged toward IK, but before he could reach him, a group of determined activists stepped in, forming a protective barrier around their leader. In that moment of chaos, the crowd surged forward, united against the threat. "We won't back down," they roared, standing firm against the looming shadow of corruption. The thugs, sensing the shift in momentum, retreated toward their SUV with furious expressions. "This isn't over," one spat defiantly, but their threats now felt hollow. As the dust settled, the crowd erupted into cheers, their excitement and unity revitalized. IK raised his hands, calling for their attention once more. "Today, we reclaim our future. Together, we will pave the way for a sustainable Nigeria." With the launch resuming amidst renewed fervor, the Zuri was unveiled, its sleek design gleaming under the sun like a beacon of hope. The day had transformed from a moment of fear into a powerful testament of resilience and unity. IK knew the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but with the strength of the community behind him, their dream of sustainable transportation was no longer just a vision, it was a burgeoning movement, one powerful enough to challenge the entrenched forces of corruption. The storm of backlash. However, the morning after the tumultuous launch, the air was thick with more than just excitement, it brimmed with the tension of impending backlash. As Lagosians awoke to the bright sun, the newspapers plastered alarming headlines across their front pages, results of a coordinated smear campaign orchestrated by the oil cabals, desperate to maintain their grip on the industry. Zuri, a death trap on wheels? Safety conk. Tears of joy. Months passed since the tumultuous launch, and the Zuri became more than just a vehicle. it evolved into a movement that transcended mere transportation. The streets of Lagos, once choked by the fumes of traditional vehicles, began to breathe again, with the Zuri rolling confidently alongside them. Families, young professionals, and eco-conscious citizens embraced the change, and complaints transformed into glowing testimonies of satisfaction. On a warm afternoon, an open-air event was organized to celebrate the success of ZIKA Corp and the Zuri's transformative journey. Crowds gathered once again, filled with laughter and excitement, as communities came together to share their experiences. IK stood on the stage, his heart swelling with gratitude as he looked out at the sea of smiling faces, each carrying stories of how their lives had been touched. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, IK took a deep breath and addressed the crowd. This journey wasn't just about creating a vehicle, it was about reclaiming our future and rewriting our narrative. Together, we have stood against the odds, and today, we celebrate more than just the Zuri. We celebrate resilience, unity, and the power of hope. Emotions ran high as families recounted tales of how the Zuri had improved their lives, saving money on fuel, reducing their carbon footprints, and providing reliable transportation. One young woman, a single mother, stepped forward, holding her toddler in her arms. With the Zuri, I can now afford to send my child to school and dream of a better future for him. Thank you, IK, for believing in us. Tears welled in Ik's eyes as his voice quivered with emotion. You are the reason I fought so hard. Your dreams are what propel us forward. We are building a legacy for our children, a future where they can thrive. As the crowd erupted into cheers, a group of children rushed to the front, holding handmade banners that read, "Thank you, IK. Zuri for the future." The expressions of joy and pride on their faces were unmistakable. It was a moment of collective triumph, where hope met reality, and the dream of a sustainable future shined brightly. Then came the highlight of the evening, a surprise tribute prepared by the community. A local choir, composed of young voices full of promise, took to the stage, their harmonies weaving together a beautiful anthem dedicated to the spirit of innovation and resilience that IK and ZIKA Corp embodied. The melody floated in the air, wrapping around the crowd like a warm embrace. As the final notes resonated through the plaza, tears began to streak down Ik's face. He glanced around at the faces beaming with joy, the children dancing in delight, and the elders nodding in approval. For IK, these were not just tears of joy, they were the culmination of years of relentless determination, a testament to overcoming every obstacle that had once seemed insurmountable. I stand here before you, not just as a businessman, but as a son of this land, honored to share this moment with all of you, he said, his voice steadfast, yet thick with emotion. Let us continue to rise, uplift one another, and dream even bigger. Together, we hold the power to shape our destiny. As the evening drew to a close, the crowd joined hands, united in a circle of hope and solidarity. Together, they raised their voices, surrendering to the shared emotion that filled the air. It was not just a celebration of the Zuri, but of community, resilience, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Under the stars that twinkled overhead, IK looked around and felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. These were not just customers, they were comrades in a shared vision, stewards of a new paradigm. And as tears of joy fell gently from his cheeks, he knew deep in his heart that they were not only changing the narrative of transportation in Nigeria but were igniting a revolution that could inspire the world. And in that moment, surrounded by light, laughter, and love, IK ZIKA felt the profound weight of hope lift him high above the challenges that lay ahead. They had transcended fear together, and he could see, clearly and vividly, that the path to a sustainable future sparkled ahead like stars in the night sky.